You are listening to Feed Your Mind, and we're going to discuss the magnetic north center of flat Earth. So, anywhere you are in the world, your compass will point to the center of the Earth. And scientists, once again, come around and try to explain the stuff away for us. So they say, hey, well, there's a molten core in the center of the Earth. Well, we're dismissing that at this point because come to find out, nobody's discovered anything beneath 8 miles of this Earth that we live on. Not the deepest cave, not the deepest exploration of the oceans, not the deepest drill. Nobody has ever seen anything beneath 8 miles of this Earth. So for them to fill in the blanks and say, hey, well, I know what's under there, well, that's just a guess, you know. So, and the guess is based off of bad math. Like I always say, they take Pythagoras and they say, well, because we live on the solar system and the Earth is a globe, then there must be a core in the center of the Earth. Well, all that's just fairy tales. I mean, there's no proof of any of this stuff. Any of the stuff that we've been taught in science class and all that, there's no proof of it. All the pictures of the Earth are fakes. So pretty much they've been misleading us our whole life. So let's re-examine, why do our compasses point north? And it's not because of some type of molten middle core spinning around in the center of the Earth. So there's no way to verify that. Nobody can verify, even if we live on a globe Earth. So why would we be able to verify what's beneath the Earth? But we do know that our magnets on the compass point to the north. So that's one thing we do know for sure. There's some activity going on the north. There's also the northern lights. We know that there's some activity in the northern center part of the Earth. Admiral Byrd even said he discovered an opening, and a lot of the hollow earthers, they'll say, well, there's proof of an opening somewhere in the center of the Earth. That could very well be. It could very well be an opening to another plane beneath us. See, the hollow earth theory, like I said in the last video, beneath flat Earth, Admiral Byrd said he found water, oceans, a sun, land, cities, all types of animals, wildlife, and even beasts that were said to be prehistoric beasts, like maybe woolly mammoths, dinosaurs, all types of stuff like that under the Earth. Strange beasts, all types of stuff under there. And I think it's possible he did fly underneath the Earth, but it wasn't a hollow Earth. What he found was another plane, and it could be an entrance to another plane. So the center of the Earth is said to have this opening. If that's true, there could very well be an entrance to another plane. But all I know is nobody's allowed there, because just like the South Pole, well, the North Pole also says, hey, you can't fly any planes over the North Pole. You have to go around it. It's highly restricted. Nobody owns any land up there. I think Google Earth say it's like nothing there almost right in the center, but I think there is stuff there. I think the maps are wrong. There's probably something there, some type of thing they're hiding from us. So there also seems to be a North Star, Ursa Minor, and well, what we would call the Little Dipper, and at the end of the Dipper would be the North Pole, which would be Polaris. That North Star just hangs out there. It never moves. You can go years and years and years. That star will stay right above the center of the Earth. So either our magnets are attracted to that, or our compasses are attracted to something going on in the center of the Earth. So here's my take on it. I think it has something to do with the sun and the moon. I think the North Star might be the magnetic thing that's there, and the sun and the moon revolve around it, kind of like some electromagnetism going on there, and it's going in a circular motion. So that's kind of my take on it. But what's your take on it? I mean, what do you guys think is at the North Pole? We got to figure this stuff out now, because the scientists are stuck on some type of religious Copernicus, Pythagoras type of ideology, so they're not going to get anywhere. They're throwing everybody off, and they're making it so that we don't question things like this. So the compass points north, and we think it's just some normal thing. But really, it's a phenomenal thing. It's something that we really should be thinking about and trying to rediscover, because it's very, very strange that there's some type of magnetic thing going on in the center of the earth. And there's all types of stories, of course, because it's such a mysterious place. There's been talks of possibly a magnetic mountain there. So when it comes down to it, the North Pole and the South Pole both are very mysterious places, and nobody's really allowed at either. So you can't go to the South Pole and fly your plane over it. You can't go to the North Pole and fly your plane over it. What are they hiding from us? They are keeping this stuff from us. NASA knows what's there. NASA's the ones that are keeping all this stuff from you. They're the ones hiding all this stuff from mankind. So the South Pole on flat Earth would be the outer ring, and the North Pole would be the center of flat Earth. So NASA has both of those things under lock and key, and nobody's allowed to explore that. Just a couple months ago, the Russians were trying to explore the North Pole. They didn't ever really follow up on that story, but they were taking their submarines, and it was coming up through the ice, and they were just exploring that area out there. I believe the Nazis were onto it. They were onto something at the South Pole and the North Pole. Admiral Byrd was onto something on the North and the South, so that means America knows something too. I believe the Russians know something. I believe like pretty much the top leaders of this world all know stuff, because they're like all part of the Illuminati. The Illuminati is keeping the stuff from mankind, and there's definitely secrets on this earth that they are keeping from us, and now it's time to figure this stuff out. So thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of Feed Your Mind.